Week 4, Term 1, School Fortnight Recap 2, Part 3, Monday 16th February 2015. Prac was good, just as usual. RE, we had to do rebrand. Math, we had to do this worksheet. English, we had to read up to Chapter 5. Music, we had to choose jazz styles. Tuesday 17th February 2015. PD theory continued the story of the girl who died of alcohol poisoning. Music, we were learning jazz again, but no prac, just like same as last lesson. Double geo, population pyramids, weather maps for homework. In English, the John Marsden question and chart and the hindsight of our lives. Science, we were looking for experiments with 4 different chemical reactions. We also had to define the chemical reaction and what takes place in the event. That's precipitation, combustion, corrosion, neutralization. Callum joined our group because something happened with Karen in the previous group, so Callum joined us instead of Karen. We did all this on Google Docs, or should I say presentation in Google Drive. Wednesday, 18th of February 2015. Periods 1 and 2 are unavailable because it was Ash Wednesday. We went to our parish churches and went to St. Jerome's, even though I didn't go to that school for my primary years of basic schooling. Maths, there was no homework, but we did a mini test. I knew something was wrong at the end of the test, even though I completed most of it. I struggled in the last 2 questions, but Miss showed us how to do the second and last question. You just had to half the isosceles triangle into 2. That way you can find out the 2 lengths as the bottom angles are given and the base length as well. Science. We worked in groups looking for experiments with chemical reactions. We looked for the methods. I asked her if we could do the ethanol in our experiment. He said yes until Charbel showed him the video with the ethanol on the gallon being lit with a match, making a huge burst of flame upwards to the lead. Gibran and Charbel under the valid combustion experiment, but Gibran wrote the method down for the blue sheet and combustion experiment with the method, while the rest of us, me, Neil, Charbel and Callum, are still looking for an experiment. Manu, James and John started singing the notes or chords for the Root Sandstorm the second half of the lesson, and so what is that noise? It's so annoying. And he didn't say so annoying, but I said it's annoying, and I replied of course to a question in general, so I said it's a song. So Timba, we had yard clean up by the time we got back to the workshops. We listened to Sir about our assignment and that he won't be here for a classified reason. Geo, same thing, but with climatic graphs as homework.
Thursday, 19th of February. We had no year assembly because it rained all of a sudden as soon as homeroom bell rang. I had double music, so introduced us with a new program or a new website called Soundtrap. You can record music like MIDI and collaborate with other people online by inviting them. This was the longest double music I have ever had, probably because it was mostly practical or the fact that it was raining. For Timba, we went to R22, supposed to do theory, so booked it. All the people in graphics moved until the head office kicked us out by asking Sir. So we moved to our workshops and did our portfolio. Sir put some music on his Mac, and then David brought his portable speaker and pumped the volume. When Sir had gone to the other room to get something, all the alpha people, that's physically and mentally strong, were all gathered on Sir's Mac, looking at it until the year coordinator came and took one of the girls out of class, gave her a warning about something, while some of us were doing our portfolios. Then Sir showed us a practical assessment for the next double Timbo, which is next week. We went to Parramatta Lake for bushwalking. This time it was a real bushwalk. We got lost the first time when Joe, Roderick and Andreas, who were holding sticks, were leading us to the wrong way about halfway the journey. We kept walking for 20 minutes until Miss and Sir came and told us we went the wrong way. Even though we went back, we got lost about 3 to 5 times or more because Miss wasn't sure if it was the right route. It was very humid and mildly hot, but hardly any mosquitoes compared to the Bicentennial Park. But when Miss got the right route back, which was near a cave, we made it back at 4 p.m. at the afternoon. We had started walking since 1:10 p.m. We could have swam in the designated areas in the lake, but the others, like the girls, wanted to go home, of course. It was tiring. We got lost so many times. I was fine. I came back home. Of course, I was tired. Just took my sports clothes off, wore shorts, fell asleep as I forgot to place the sports clothes back to the laundry. But I forced myself to sleep as I had an intense headache from all the blood flow of walking and the humidity of dehydrating me. Just like people bushwalking, they sweated. Friday, the 20th of February, 2015. Firstly, in homeroom with a sub, and we got our ID cards for the year after signing the paper. Next, I had double English. We did this close passage of like the whole story but summarized while we were completing this sheet. He asked our groups of people to check our English workbooks and how much work we have finished. He gave double merits to those who did work, but for the people who didn't do the work, he gave a chance by giving them extra time till Monday to finish the work. And then Sir discussed with us about the story so far, about the characters, the setting, and what you do if a snake was down on the other side. What would you do if the snake was on the other side of your sleeping bag? And Adam was like, leave it alone, be calm, and everyone laughed. And so it's like, okay, that's more of a Buddhist approach on the snake. Another person answered they would get scared, and some people replied to Sir that they would kill the snake. In maths, we did more trigonometric questions, same thing every time but different numbers. We got our mini test results. I knew I did something wrong. I forgot to label the sides because I just wrote down letters, not the actual name of the sides. The homework was questions 4 and 5 on the worksheet and correcting the mistakes on our mini test, which is due next week. After that was geography. This time it was just revision. Miss didn't teach us anything other than telling us to revise. It got loud as usual because she allowed discussions in studying/revising. Some people came up to Miss and asked questions they didn't understand. All I did was copy the booklet into this spare workbook just to revise or a form of study. Later that day was science with a sub. She did her work. Sure, the class got noisy, but most people just sat anyway, but we did our work anyways, which was questions in chapter 3, page 58. We were to read and make dot points on pages 54 to 58, or something like that. Finally, it was religion, and a sub as well. Had to summarize Mark, Matthew, and Luke as an outline and written in the table for the whole lesson. I was writing it by hand the whole time. Most people did it by typing. Just as I had finished the whole table, I clicked the link on it and noted that Miss left. It was basically the same thing I had done except digital. Most of us got merits because we did our work instead of talking. Even though most students were talking, they still received the merit for hard work. At last, the bell rang. I went home, got changed, watched TV for a while, did my homework afterwards, and I fell asleep.